Now, to get us started on today's episode is a management consultant and human resource professional with an MSc in industrial psychology. And she's here to share some insights on the impact that COVID-19 is having on the work as we know it. Folake Agumbiade, welcome to 700 Club Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. So great to be here.
So great to share the stage with you today.
Amazing. Pretty
how
amazing.
have you been?
I've been good. I've been trying to stay safe and stay productive.
And stay locked down?
Yes, stay home.
Now, there's a new phrase that, is everywhere, which is the phrase working from home. Prior to this time, that was something foreign or alien that, never applied to us as a society. But here we are dealing with the realities of it. So what actually does this entail, working from home?
Well, working from home is a very unique experience. Thankfully, for the past almost 4 years, I've been running 2 organizations, 2 brands from my home office. So I would say it has equipped me quite well to reintegrate into the future as we know now. It's a rude awakening to the fact that we can no longer see organizations as buildings. You don't have to be in a structural building with the aesthetics of work to actually work. So working from home is the new normal. If you're not working and you're at home, then you are not making money. It's regular now, and it's better we come to that realization and we start making changes that help us move into the future of work, which is now.
I agree with you. And, it's interesting to know that the future of work is now. It's no longer in the future after COVID-19. And, well, whether we like it or not, most people that I know, are able to cheat on employers by not doing the work that they ought to do in the actual hours that they should. But how does this, new normal now impact on that? You can't just say you've done the work. You need to prove that you're doing the work with worksheets and means of verification. As a consultant, as a management consultant, how do you advise your clients?
Well, a key part of working from home is to realize that there is work involved. You need to create structures and systems that make you accountable to your employer. In other parts of the world, what you get is that there are timesheets, there are logbooks, there's actual proof in countries where they pay you per hour for the amount of output that you get. So organizations that have not started introducing automation, information technology, where you can actually check what your staff is doing per time and be able to track that actual work is being done. It comes with a lot of planning. It comes with investing in technology, video conferencing, and so many other things. But with the right artificial intelligence, the future of work is here to stay. And the earlier we start moving in that direction, the better for everyone, both the employer and the employees.
It's understandable that, this is where work is going, for the future, which is now, but we are not structured in such a way to have a perfect work environment. I know that I still struggle with internet. I still struggle with connectivity.
True.
I still struggle with balance. Here I am stuck at home. It's time for lunch. Somebody wants to get a story read to them. I need to attend to one thing or the other. So 2 quick questions. How do we make sure that we're ready structurally, and the inputs that we need to make this successful, and then how do we really balance?
Okay, organizations need to invest in technology. Like you said, high-speed internet, hardware sometimes for video conferencing. You want to use Zoom, you want to use Hangout to have meetings, conferences, and all that. You need to make investments in that area beyond paying rent and utilities. Actually, the future of work is cheaper in the long run in terms of overheads for organizations, what they're spending money on. Because when you're in the office, you have consumables, you have a lot of things. But thankfully, there's the cashless economy now where you don't need to carry cash around. You can send your documents through Google Drive. So if you have not accepted that technology is here to stay and the world has changed forever, then this is the time to accept it or you'll be left out. You must really be there and invest in it.
I know you have worked the last 4 years running a home office, and you are a pro at balancing, juggling the balls and really balancing them.
Yes,
How have you achieved that?
Well, It comes with, first of all, setting structures. You must be strategic. You must be thinking about your objectives at the end of the day. Highly productive people don't just live their lives running through the motions without what you want to achieve. So for me, I'm self-taught, I'm self-driven. For some people, you need to get help. You need people to help you actually structure yourself. You know, the time for meals, you have to get up. It's not, when you work from home, it's not a time to lay in bed.
Holiday.
No. You have to have regular times when you get up in the morning, you get the meals ready, you plan yourself. I remember in January 2018, I had to do a 31-day productivity challenge.
Wow.
And I had to churn out content every morning by 7 a.m.
Wow.
And the kids still had to go to school. And I was able to do it for 31 full days.
Wow.
So it takes a lot of discipline, it takes planning and making sure that the systems and structures that you build and evolve with over time are actually working. And you'll find out that you'll be good.
And I read something last week, I don't remember where now, and someone said that, you know, at the end of this lockdown, if you haven't achieved your goals, your problem was not a lack of time, but discipline.
Yes.
You know, so, well, how does this speak to us in, you know, our persona as per, you know, the discipline, self-discipline, you know, setting goals and achieving and working towards them?
If there's one thing COVID-19 has done to a lot of people, is a mental slumber. People are emotionally in a coma. So rather than face the inevitable that a disruption has come and it has turned the ball around entirely, we're busy waiting for the end of this lockdown. So the first step is realization. You need to stand up, realize that it has changed. Then you need to start taking actions. It's hard to see these things. You read them in textbooks, it's very easy. But actually getting them done, sometimes you need a coach. I need to be honest. Some people don't have it in them. If it were that easy, all of us would be supermen, flying the world, conquering the world, and meeting our objectives. So it's a huge part of discipline that comes into play, and sometimes you need to get help.
Sometimes you need to get help and,
sometimes
you know, really cry out to someone and say, hey, show me the way. Like you being a management expert, I know that you are a management consultant. You have clients that you've helped. Even prior to this COVID period, you've helped, you know, walk down to make sure that their productivity is ace, you know, and that they're churning out results as they ought to.
Very important.
Unfortunately, many people are not going to go back to employment as they know it. 9 to 5 may become a mirage. And some people have lost their jobs. Other people are still going to lose their jobs, you know, when all this snaps back to normal. You know, so how do we prepare our mindsets to say things are changing? You know, it might not be business as usual. And for those who have lost jobs as well.
It's quite sad. So I take a breath to say it's going to be painful that quite a number of people are going to be out of jobs. But that depends on you. A large part of that actually depends on you. The new normal, which at the end of this is going to be entirely a rude awakening, would require you having some certain skills. Employers will have less liquidity, and hence they will be looking for people who are fixers. That means you have a variety of skills that they can bounce off to reach their goals and objectives. A lot of outsourcing would also happen in the future of work. That means if you recreate yourself as an employee, you start working on areas where you can actually take off the burden of organizations that they pay staff for at a discounted fee. You most likely will be making more than somebody who sits in an office. So you need to update your skills, skills that are essential for you to be relevant: communication, negotiation, big data analysis, technology, graphic design, quite a number of things that you must be updating yourself on right now.
I also see that this period is a time to reflect and really dig deep, because if this hadn't happened, so many people would not be reflective, you know, and really dig right deep inside to know what they carry, because times are changing, you know, there's a new definition of work, you know, and all that. How can we, you know, stop the panic, you know, the panic attacks that we launch on ourselves, and really sit down and dig as we ought to bring out the gold in us?
I think a huge part of it, as a psychologist, I've told quite a number of people in recent times that your immunity is tied to your mental state. You need to be careful about what you're listening to, what you're watching. Unless you're a COVID-19 specialist, I don't think you want to be CNN. The numbers are out of your control. What is in your control is what you are doing with your mind, which is staying positive. So you need to be deliberate. Panic messages that have been sent around, please don't open them. It's unnecessary for you. If you're a doctor, yes, I get it. If you're a COVID-19 educator, yes, I get it. But you're a regular guy just trying to make ends meet and pay your bills, really. You don't want to be messing with your mind. And there's a lot of resource on the World Wide Web that you can be updating yourself with, rather than stuffing yourself with negative stuff.
We'll come back to that in a moment, because there is opportunities that people need to explore. But we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll continue our conversation with Folake on the future of work. Stay with us.